Hello, and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I'm your host, Eric Smith, and today I'm talking about Lakehouse Infernal by Christine Morgan. This is from Deadite Press. It is the most recent winner of the Splatterpunk Award for Best Novel. Let's pull it back a little bit. I recently picked up Christine Morgan's latest book, which is part of Death's Head Press's Splatter Western series. It's going to be a while before I get to that, so I figured I would talk about this. It is also part of Edward Lee's Infernal series, an official part. This even has an introduction by Edward Lee. And what we've got here is one bright sunny day. I assume it's a bright sunny day. A lake in Florida swaps places with a lake in hell. So now this hell lake is in Florida, infecting the landscape, and it's brought monsters and demons and such with it. And this Roman centurion, excuse me, a guy that was a Roman soldier way back in the day. When he died, he went to hell, became a soldier for hell. He's got these three giant golems with him, or golems. I know people pronounce it differently. I always say golem. So all of this is in this area of Florida, and the government comes in and they wall it off, and they're trying to keep people out. They're trying to keep hell locked in, but people still want to go there. And so what we have here is there are some college kids on spring break who bribe a guard to get in. They want to spend their spring break in hell for some reason. There's a busload of religious folks who are going in to try to fight the forces of hell, save anybody that's trapped inside the walls. There's a drug smuggler whose plane crashes within the walls. And so we have these three storylines that we follow that are eventually going to come together. And we also kind of follow the Roman centurion and what he's doing. And that, in a nutshell, is what's going on in Lakehouse Infernal. This is a fantastically well-written book with interesting characters. Christine Morgan is a great author. She has become one of my must-buy authors. As soon as I hear she has something new coming out, I make a note of it. Once it's released, I'm picking that up. Absolutely love her work. And this fits in perfectly with the rest of Edward Lee's Infernal series. We get a tiny little bit about what hell is in this series. And then when this lake appears in Florida, bringing some hellish creatures with it, we see how it sort of transforms this bit of landscape that's within the walls that the government put up. And it's all very well written, very descriptive. Each of the different characters or character groups, their storylines are interesting. I think probably the bus full of religious people is my favorite. Not that there's anything wrong with the other storylines, but there are some things that go on with this group that I really enjoy. There is one woman in particular, don't recall her name, but she's sort of the main focus of this group. We're seeing this particular storyline through her eyes and how everything is affecting her. We get bits of some people were trapped when the Hell Lake showed up and when the government built the wall. We see how living in this hellish area has affected them. It's all very, very interesting. And if you're a fan of Edward Lee, did I say this already? If you're a fan of Edward Lee, if you're a fan of his Infernal series, I think you're going to love this book. If you haven't read his Infernal series or haven't read Edward Lee, it doesn't matter. This book stands on its own, and Christine Morgan is a fantastic author on her own. You could just pick this up with no knowledge of anything. You could have never even heard of Edward Lee before. You can pick this up and have just a wild time. It's crazy, it's bloody, it's over the top, there's sex and violence. It's just a wild ride, and it's the kind of thing that I just love to sit down and read something this crazy, this enjoyable. It's a fun house of insanity. Um, excuse me. So I don't recall what I gave it on Goodreads. It had to be at least 4 stars, if not 5. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and say 5 out of 5 stars for this. I can't check Goodreads because as of the time of this recording, I have no Wi-Fi, so I can't get to Goodreads and see what the hell I rated this back when I read it. I read this when it first came out. I'm pretty sure as soon as it arrived, I quickly finished up whatever I was reading at the time and then just grabbed this and read it. I was so excited for this book. Already a fan of Christine Morgan, already a fan of Edward Lee's Infernal books. It's a match made in hell in the best way possible. Man, that cover is just so fantastic. Love it. So that's it. That's pretty much what I have to say about Lakehouse Infernal. This has been a quick one, but I don't want to go into too much detail. As always, I don't want to spoil anything. This moves at a good pace. It's got very interesting characters. It's got over-the-top sex and violence. What else is there to say? So that's it. This is Lakehouse Infernal. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put them in the comments below. We can get into some specifics, but if we're going to talk spoilers, just put a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here at the Low Budget Review Show. I will have a link for this book in the description below. Ha! I remembered to say it this time. Please like, share, and subscribe. And that's it. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith, and until next time, read more books.